Hey, so we're back for the next part of the story of Joseph and the messy faith. So poor Joseph, we learned, was sold by his brothers, ended up in Egypt, was sold into slavery, worked his way up, was given lots of responsibility, then somebody lied, he got thrown into prison, and he's there. But because God is with him, he's still being given more and more responsibility. And he's in charge of some new prisoners that have just arrived. Somebody who used to be a cupbearer for a king. That was somebody who would taste the drinks and eat the food before the king did, so that if there was poison on it, the king didn't die, the cupbearer did. And there was a baker as well. So the Bible says sometime later. So we don't know exactly how much time, but we know that there's been time where Joseph has been down in the prison for a while, right? And he's worked his way up. So it's been a long time. And now these two people have come under his care. And the Bible says again, sometime later. Have you ever had to wait for a very long time for something? Like a very long time? I'm not talking like a couple hours or even a couple days, right? Maybe there's like a trip to Disneyland you're excited about that took a couple months, but we're talking years here, right? You know how you have to wait every year for your birthday? That's a long time. And Joseph has no idea if he's ever going to get out of prison or not. So there were these two people that were under his care, and they both had dreams on the same night. They woke up, and you know when you sometimes remember a dream? And they did, and they said, oh, I just can't shake this. I just keep repeating it in my head over and over. So Joseph said, why don't you tell me what the dream is? So the cupbearer, he says, I had a dream that there was this vine, and on it were 3 branches. And on the branches came a whole bunch of grapes. Do you guys like grapes? If you were with me, I would share them with you. But I'll eat these ones for you. And the cupbearer said, then I squeezed them, all the grapes, just squeezed them into a cup and made juice. And then he placed it in the king's hand. That was his whole dream. And Joseph thinks about it. He says, God can interpret these dreams. This isn't me. This is God doing this. In 3 days, that's what the 3 branches represent, a day each. 3 days, you are going to be restored back to your position. You'll get out of prison, and you are going to go and be able to have your job back. He goes, oh, well, that sounds awesome. Thanks, Joseph. Cool. We'll see if that happens. So then the baker says, well, I had a dream too, but in my dream, I had 3 baskets on my head. I mean, there were probably, 1, 2, and in the baskets was some toast and some bread and some pastries. And there were birds eating out of my basket. I'd made all these pastries for the king, and the birds were eating them. So what does that mean? Joseph says, sadly, that means that in 3 days, you're going to get out of prison too. But instead of getting your job back, you're going to die. And the birds are going to eat you. Sorry. That's not fun. That's not good news. So 3 days goes by, and it's a very special day. It is the birthday. Woo! It's a birthday. And for the king's birthday, he says, bring me my cupbearer, bring me the baker. And the cupbearer definitely did get his job back. And the baker definitely died. Was impaled outside. So what does this all have to do with faith and a messy faith? Sometimes life is messy. It doesn't go according to plan. We don't understand our circumstances. Joseph was stuck in prison for years. And he did not know what the future held. We stay home right now. And we don't know what our future holds. We don't know when that will change. Joseph didn't either. But we can have patience and we can trust in God. Because God sees the big picture. God knows and God is in control. And we can follow the example of Joseph and have patience and just continue to do the good work where we are while still looking forward to where God's going to take us.